From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolynny TV. And welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on Dolynny TV, guys. Take a breath. It's all over as of midnight last night, whatever you want to say. Peter Chiarelli, during the second intermission, was, I don't know if he was ushered out or told to leave, but as the way Bob Nicholson said it, he wanted to give him a chance to get out of the building his way. So, but getting ahead of myself. Peter Chiarelli gone as Edmonton Oilers GM. That's not what the video is. You guys have already, most likely, if you're subscribed to Dolynny TV or you're tuning back in after seeing the video earlier, you know about what's happened. You know my take, all that. But now we kind of get to see the fallout from that move and what has happened already today. Yes, the Oilers pulled a press conference. There's a couple of big things coming out of that, and it's going to be interesting to see what the Oilers do from here, because right now Keith Gretzky has pretty much been named interim GM, and then you've got Bob Nicholson taking over the hockey operations title right there as well. So, hate to say it, but yeah, guys, that sounds like the old boys club to me. Now, this is the inevitable in a situation where you fire Peter Chiarelli, obviously, right? Is you're not going to have a guy right away to replace him, and if you did, I really wouldn't like that either, because if the Oilers would have said, oh, Peter Chiarelli's fired, here's Stevie Yzerman to come in here and rescue the day, something's greasy about that. Something's a little weird. Something's off. Something's not good. And you know what? It's off enough that the Oilers let Peter Chiarelli watch the game, be the general manager for 2 periods of last night's hockey game, and then axed him out of the building during the second intermission. That's strange enough. That's how Edmonton operates. I think Jeremy Roenick put it best. That's actually another point I want to get to. Jeremy Roenick putting the Oilers on blast. Hold on. Can I even get his comments here? Give me a second here. Jeremy Roenick comments. Jeremy Roenick. I had it a second ago. You guys know I'm a little bit scrambly, so give me a minute here to figure myself out. Jeremy Roenick. And where are his comments? Sometimes I hate my job when I have to be honest. I have so much respect for the Oilers franchise and fan base, but to watch them play mindless hockey disappoints me. Not far out of a playoff spot. I hope they can turn around. That's his kind of apology after what he said. Let me see if I can find his actual quote here. That I just wanted to get that because you're going to be blown away. If you haven't seen those comments already, I'm boggled that a professional hockey team, the Edmonton Oilers, are so bad they can't put 2 passes together. Their passing, their positionally defense, they look in all 3 zones, they look confused. That's exactly the quote. Sorry, it comes up weird subtitles on bar down, but like he's saying, they look confused, they look mindless out there. And guys, if you're in the fire Chiarelli camp, which succeeded in the goal, well, guess what? That's exactly what we've been saying. This Oilers team, after a 9-2-2 run under Ken Hitchcock, looks absolutely lost, absolutely clueless. And that's exactly what it was looking like under Todd McLellan right before he got fired, right? That Calgary game, the defensive incompetence that cost the Oilers in that one is unreal. It popped up again against Vegas. It was there for a couple weeks before, and now it's a full team incompetence. Now, when you've got a general manager like Peter Chiarelli who puts Ryan Spooner on waivers and then expects him to suit up and play the next night, well, right there you're kind of talking about how things are going to go. It's pretty understandable as to why that blew up. So, you know, when I take a look at kind of what's going to happen here for the Oilers, right now with Bob Nicholson involved, it's not something I really want to see based on the Old Boys Club being part of it. However, the factors being is, like I said, the Old Boys Club does have to be part of the pieces to pick up what Chiarelli left, to go and maybe get somebody on the outside, hoping, because it's an ugly time. So, what exactly are the Oilers looking for? This quote on Sportsnet. You can't define it in a couple weeks or a sentence, but I want to make sure the general manager really can evaluate the players. Well, I think similarly things were said about Peter Chiarelli when he was hired. He's a guy who knows guys and can deal and wheel kind of deal. Well, guess what? He did not pan out. So I'm hoping Bob Nicholson has a couple more brains than he did when he hired Peter Chiarelli, but that's the thing. Nicholson was hired at the same time as well. It was a whole culture shift for the Oilers to bring in two guys that weren't the old boys club. Well, now all of a sudden, it's up to Nicholson, who's been there, to get this job done after failing on the first attempt. Right? You see what I'm getting at? It's not just Chairelli that failed. Chiarelli's got to be the fall guy 100% because he's the guy at the end of the day executing these moves. He might get rubber stamps of approval from the yes man higher up in him and lower down from him, but Chairelli was the face of these moves. Obviously, you have to look at the factors. Daryl Katz, what's he doing? How much influence does he have? And I think the old adage with Daryl Katz, from what I can gather, is pretty much he just wants the old 80s Oilers to be his friends. That's what it seems like when he employs all of them in his front office of his Oilers entertainment group and, of course, the Oilers hockey operations side as well. Let's see here. I think that we have really good assets, but that's the key. I really want to have open communication. I want all lines of communication to be open in this organization and make sure that that's being done within the dressing room so the players feel comfortable speaking to all the staff. And when you do that, you've got to make sure you're pulling all the same direction. So Bob Nicholson trying to troll the Oilers the right way. So a couple names that Sportsnet is throwing out here. Mark Hunter, obviously one that's been thrown out, but I think the biggest is number 2 on the list, Kelly McCrimmon. Over there with the Vegas Golden Knights, he's an assistant. He played an integral part in building the league's most recent expansion team. That's straight from Sportsnet, not from me. And the fact Vegas came within 3 wins of earning the Stanley Cup in their inaugural season is a clear sign. McCrimmon knows how to help construct a roster efficiently. Obviously, it's a whole different set when you're constructing a roster for an expansion franchise to an existing NHL roster and trying to fine-tune, change, and mold a team into a situation. But Kelly McCrimmon, you guys want to talk about a guy who would be hard to pry away from Vegas, but at the same rate, if we could do it right, a guy who almost seems to be odds-on money favorite. Well, but again, going back, when Peter Chiarelli was hired, we all, oh, Chiarelli, yeah, you know what, Chiarelli makes sense, good move, good move, good move. And then 3 years later, here we are. Okay? So let's just take a breath and let's not get too excited about names. Let the Oilers actually do stuff. Here's one. This is a good one. How about Ron Hextall? I know I had mentioned that last night in my video before Sportsnet put out this article an hour ago. Stay away. Just stay the hell away. That's an old boys club member from some other team. We don't need it. We don't want it. Just don't, man. Just don't. Don't even think about it, Nicholson. Don't. Mike Fuda, Fuda's old boss with the Kings, was thought to be a contender to land a front office job after Trevor Linden. Rumored to be a contender for the Islanders job. And now, well, it's interesting to see. Oh, hold on. What the hell are we doing? Fuda. Oh, Fuda has been a mainstay in the organization at the LA Kings. Pardon me. That's where I was getting the Kings from. Dean Lombardi, also another name. And Mike Gillis is looking for work, and that his name could be brought up as a contender. Oh, my God. Guys, this is where we're at. Literally, this is the list of guys to come in and possibly be the Oilers GM based on the advice of Sportsnet. This is what the national broadcaster of the hockey in Canada is thinking for the Oilers. Kelly McCrimmon, and the only other name I like is Mark Hunter. Wants a person that assesses talent and is undeniably one of the top talent assessors in hockey, according to Mark Hunter, or according to Sportsnet. And who's writing this article? That article would be written by Mike Johnston. So I don't know, guys. It's what happens next with this Oilers club in the meantime is scary, because it's the old boys club controlling things right now, but the future being determined by the old boys club ain't much better. You know, honestly, it's a scary time. And as much as, yes, I'm glad Peter Chiarelli's fired. Yes, I'm glad we got the fire Chiarelli thing going. We got everything solved, good to go. But what's next for the Edmonton Oilers? That's the problem. The old boys club back in charge. Yeah, you know what? Keith Gretzky, I know the analysts are making their arguments that, oh, he earned his way to be there, but guess what? Realistically, in my opinion, the only way he's in Edmonton is because of the name. Again, back to Daryl Katz being an 80s fanboy saying, oh, Gretzky, 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 right? Obviously, that's my take on it. Keith Gretzky, you know what, he's done good work. And maybe under Peter Chiarelli, he was a voice of reason. We don't really know. We don't really see much of him. He's the assistant. However, guys, I'm scared for the future still. But we have a week to relax, take the break off. We'll talk some All-Star stuff coming up, and we'll have a little bit of fun with it. So, guys, I'm Tyson. This has been Dolynny TV. One thing I do want to make note of just right now before you guys go is next week, next Wednesday, I won't be talking Oilers. I'll have a little bit something a little bit more personal. Right there, you should be able to connect the dots as to what's happening next Wednesday as to what I'll be talking about. But guys, I will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in.